So, for activity 3 this week, you're going to use the experience that you had yesterday or today, if you're doing activity 2 and 3 all together. You're going to use the activity where you went out into nature, you went out into the playground or into your backyard or onto your veranda, and you did a brainstorm. You wrote down adjectives describing what you could see, feel, hear, smell, and touch. You're now just going to write those thoughts and feelings and emotions down. Now, going back to our success criteria in our journal writing, we know that it's written in first person. So I'm going to say how I am feeling and what I saw. It's written in past tense. So it's not happening to me now. I've already had the experience. I'm making sure that I write it in order, and I'm going to describe the events that happened using adjectives, and I'm going to use emotive language, and then I'm also going to include a variety of sentence structures. So I'm going to have my table in front of me just to help me so that I don't have to think of the words as I'm writing. And for today, I'm just going to write one paragraph, but you might choose to write 2 or 3 paragraphs. Just keep writing. A diary entry can just be a stream of thought, and I would suggest don't stop writing. If the words are coming, just keep writing, and you can always go back and check and edit your work if you want to, if this is a piece of writing that you want to publish. So we sometimes, when we write a diary, start with Dear Diary. I'm going to put a comma, and then I'm going to start on a new line because I'm going to start a new paragraph. So I'm going to try and include what I've already know about engaging my audience, and I know that I've got the first 20 seconds to keep my audience engaged. So I'm going to try and use a sizzling start. And there's one thing in particular that I hear when it's time to take my dog for a walk, especially if I'm taking my dog for a walk at night or in the afternoon. So whenever I hear those loud squawking cockatoos, I know that the sun is setting and it's time for me to quickly get outside, walk my dog so that it's not too late. So I'm going to put onomatopoeia, and I'm going to write squawk. Just going to copy and paste that to make it a bit faster. Squawk, squawk, squawk. I'm going to use rule of 3. That's when I repeat the same word 3 times. And it's just a bit of a strategy that engages an audience. So squawk, squawk, squawk. I hear the pesky because they can be a bit annoying. Oops, I've made a mistake. I heard. I'm remembering that I need to write in past tense. I heard the pesky cockatoos starting to roost now I've got a enormous eucalyptus tree outside my house, and they all like to kind of roost for the night in that eucalyptus tree. In the enormous enormous eucalyptus tree outside my bedroom window. I knew it was time to put my walking shoes on, harness up Ziggy. I knew it was time to put my walking shoes on. Harness up Ziggy. I'm putting her harness on, and get outside to clear my mind. Now, we're still using show, don't tell. We're still using what we did in recount writing. I want to still engage my audience, even though this is probably just going to be a text for myself. If someone was to ever read this, I want them to keep reading. So I want to create a little bit of suspense. I've tried to include what I know about sizzling starts using onomatopoeia, and then also creating a little bit of suspense. So I have given a bit of a clue as to I might be going for a walk and I'm putting the harness on Ziggy. If you know Ziggy, you know that she's my dog. But if someone was reading this for the first time, they didn't know me, they would maybe think, oh, what is she going to do? So that's my first paragraph. I've included what I could hear and how it was going to make me feel. I know that walking clears my mind. So this kind of implies that if I wasn't going to get outside that straight away, I might miss the boat and I wouldn't get an opportunity to clear my mind. So then my next paragraph, I'm going to look up and I might talk about what I hear. So I'll talk about the route that I took. So I walk down my street and then I start to describe everything that I was hearing at that time. I'm not going to describe the smell yet. That will be in my third paragraph. So I didn't walk past the lake yet. It happens probably about 15-20 minutes into my walk. So making sure that I still keep in chronological order using my senses. And then that touch I may weave in throughout my paragraphs because I was walking on the rough gravel and the smooth tar in my first kind of 10-15 minutes of my walk. So I might even say the first 10 minutes of my walk was noisy. The council workers were setting up for the night. I was hit with the bright lights. The rough gravel underneath my feet was making a loud crunching sound as I walked. Ziggy was barking at all. Make sure that I reread my writing. Barking at all the workers as we walked past. So like I said before, my next paragraph, which I'm not going to show you for today because this video is getting a little bit long and I want you to have as much time to write as possible. My next paragraph will all be about what I smelt as I walked past the lake, which was not very pleasant at this time of night. It was quite putrid and pungent. It was like pungent means a really strong smell, and it just was not very pleasant. Have fun writing. I hope this was helpful. Please email myself or Miss Roden with any questions that you might have, and I hope that you enjoy just writing and have fun.